Get ready, we are in for another stormy night.
I'm tracking these strong storms as they move through, where we're seeing the heaviest rain and the biggest change you'll notice tomorrow.
A sure sign that football season is almost here. The Broncos report to training camp.
Excited to see Russell Wilson for the first time.
All of these players are excited to get the season started.
Tonight, the Denver 7 sports team is breaking down what happened at day one at the UC Health Training Center.
Interest rates on the rise, from your credit card to your mortgage, what this latest hike will mean for your bank account.
Well, hold on, everybody. Another stormy night in store for us here in Colorado. This is a live look at the light show from our rooftop camera as storms move in from the north.
Wow. So right now there are flash flood warnings and severe thunderstorm watches in place north of Denver.
Meteorologist Stacey Donaldson is keeping an eye on all of it for us tonight. Stace?
It's been a busy night and another light show this evening here for the metro area. A severe thunderstorm watch in effect for northeastern Colorado, where we've seen most of the severe weather. But our newest severe thunderstorm warning is in effect now for Boulder, where we have a lot of lightning and small hail developing with this storm cell as it continues to come up 36 here. We also have more rain off to our north. A flash flood warning in effect near Box Prairie and Glen Haven. Flash flood warnings east of there as well as the storms continue to push to the south. We also have a lot of lightning and severe thunderstorm warnings that have just expired for the eastern plains, but still a lot of lightning and heavy rain also. Here in Denver, we're expecting these storms to continue to come our direction, but we also have storms to the south with a flash flood warning. So a lot going on around Colorado, especially for tonight into northeastern part of our state. And here in Denver, we're expecting the rain to move on in later on. We'll have more on what we can expect tomorrow coming up.
All right, quite a show out there. Thank you, Stacey. And tonight, Denver 7's Colette Bordelon is out tracking these storms as they come in.
And she's joining us live tonight north of Longmont. You're on I-25, so how are conditions out there, Colette?
It's hard to see, guys, but it's not as hard as it was to see last night when I was leaving the station at around 10:30. It was just pounding Denver, but the rain is still coming down hard. We're driving through Meade right now. I want to flip you around so you can see outside of our windshield right here. You can see that rain coming down. You can hear it. Lots of traffic moving really slowly. Roads doing okay, at least right here on 25 North, like I said, near Meade. So it's not flooding necessarily, but when I was leaving the station last night, there were areas driving through Denver where in my tiny little Honda Civic, I was a little bit nervous driving because it felt like the car might get swept away. So if you are heading home tonight, if you do work late, if you're on the roads at all, this is something you really need to be paying attention to. You can watch those radars. Of course, you can listen to Stacey, who can tell you that this storm is moving into the metro. Right now, though, we're in one of those big red bands of this storm. It's headed your way, guys.
All right,
live
Colette.
from Meade, Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
Thank you so much. And the Denver 7 team will be tracking these storms all through the night, and you can get the latest forecast on the go right now by downloading our free Denver 7 Plus app.
The Federal Reserve once again raising interest rates in an effort to curb the highest inflation in 40 years.
The 0.75 of a point increase announced today will bring the Fed's benchmark rate to a range between 2.25 and 2.5, the highest since 2018. And Denver 7's Jessica Porter is joining us with how these rate increases will affect your wallet. Jess?
Well, and Shannon, 0.75 of a point doesn't sound like much, but it all adds up quickly. And these rate hikes are going to hit you anytime you borrow money, starting with the thing you use most, your credit cards. The average credit card balance is about $5,000. Today's hike would cost you an extra $283 in interest before that is paid off. Well, thinking about buying a car, financing it will now increase your monthly payment, and that's going to have a greater impact on buyers with lower credit scores. And with the price of used vehicles at an all-time high, banks are wasting no time repossessing vehicles if a payment is missed. The most significant impacts to your wallet will be buying a home. Interest rates have doubled in the last year to about 5.5%. Purchasing a $500,000 home with 20% down, the monthly payment would be $2,697. That's nearly $700 more a month than it would have cost you a year ago. And let's not forget about those heading to college in the fall. Borrowers taking out new private student loans will be hit with higher interest rates. But But it's not all bad. You may find those higher interest rates increasing your returns on savings accounts, bonds, and CDs, putting more money in your pocket. Experts are predicting a smaller rate hike at the Fed's next meeting in September and another 3 rate hikes by early 2023. Shannon?
All right, Jessica, thank you. The markets responded well to the Fed's announcement today. The Dow, the Nasdaq, S&P all closed today with gains. Strong earnings from Microsoft and Google owner Alphabet also helped lift investor spirits.
A turn of events in Washington, West Virginia. Senator Joe Manchin now saying he's agreed to a spending package addressing health care, energy, climate, and taxes on higher earners and corporations. This comes 2 weeks after the conservative Democrat backed away from climate measures being included in any spending bill because of inflation. In a joint statement with Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, the pair said the package will invest $370 billion in energy security and climate change programs over the next decade. They also say it would reduce the federal deficit by $300 billion. The Senate could vote on the package next week, with the House voting later.
5 Colorado primary candidates have submitted recount requests, and they now have until tomorrow to pay. They include Tina Peters, who first requested a recount 2 weeks ago but failed to pay in time. Now her office says they have raised the $230,000 necessary for the recount, but the Secretary of State's office has now raised that price to $255,000. That's because some of the work will have to happen over the weekend to meet the timeline required by state law. The Secretary of State's office says if payments are fulfilled tomorrow, elections would be recounted as they originally were, not by hand.
Governor Polis is launching a panel to review applications for a new San Luis Valley district attorney. Former DA Alonzo Payne resigned earlier this month. That followed extensive reporting by Denver 7 investigative reporter Jennifer Kovaleski into complaints over questionable plea deals and violations of victims' rights. The 5-member panel will include former Governor Bill Ritter and the former 12th District DA Eugene Farish. Now, interviews will begin next month. A new DA will be appointed by Governor Polis, and in the meantime, State Attorney General Phil Weiser will oversee the DA's office.
Football is back. Today, the Denver Broncos opened training camp at UC Health Training Center. And with new quarterback Russell Wilson, excitement in Broncos country is as high as it's been in years.
I've been a Broncos fan ever since I was a little kid. So, I mean, just to have that energy back, it's very exciting. I'm super glad to be here.
And Denver 7 Sports Director Lionel Bienvenu is here with a look at what happened at day 1 of camp.
Football is back, guys.
Back.
Yeah, it's the first day of a new era for the Broncos. It was pretty much everything we heard it would be during the offseason. It was competitive, it was fast and furious, it was high energy with excitement, enthusiasm, and music by Nate Hackett. Pretty much the opposite of what we've seen the last few years, and that's a good thing. So off to a great start on the first day of camp. Some fans waited overnight to get in to see Russell Wilson and the Broncos practice for the first time. It was not a huge crowd, but they were loud and proud, especially when Russ got everything started. He ran over to the hill before practice, got the crowd pumped up, high-fiving the fans along the front row. Hey, Broncos country, let's ride, in his words. And let's get our coverage started with Broncos insider Troy Renck.
Welcome to WrestleMania.
Go Broncos, let's ride.
Otherwise known as the first day of training camp practice. Everything feels new. New quarterback, new coach.
Day 1 in the books.
New ownership, and it all starts and it's central to Russell Wilson. And he had a great day, especially in the red zone, a couple of touchdowns. What were Wilson's impressions after his first practice?
It felt like a game, to be honest with you. We were getting after it, ones versus ones, just to go back and forth, the speed of it all. Like I said, anytime you want to be successful, you got to put the work in. There's no magic pill, there's no hidden tricks, there's no nothing. It's just, are you going to do the work? Are you going to do everything it takes? Are you going to sacrifice every day?
One thing Coach Nathaniel Hackett has fostered is competition, and we saw that throughout practice, especially ones versus ones. Bradley Chubb said it's only going to make them all better.
It's crazy, man, because you see him. I played against my rookie year, and pretty much the same dude, man, running around trying to avoid guys. And when we on the sideline, knowing that, he's never going to give up on the play, and we see that when we're chasing him right now. So it's been fun. It's going to make us better, and hopefully we make him better as well.
Some injury notes. Rookie tight end Greg Dulcich is not practicing yet because of a hamstring issue, and Tom Compton, the right tackle, is out with a back issue. He goes on the PUP list. The Broncos sign reserve Cam Fleming. Reporting from UC Health Training Center, Troy Renck, Denver 7.
All right, Russell was asked today if he was nervous. He said, "I don't get nervous." All right, what about Coach Nate Hackett, his first ever training camp practice as a head coach? Well, here's Nick Rothschild with more on the man in charge.
The first day of camp is always full of excitement. But what about nerves? I mean, this was Nate Hackett's first time running training camp on his own. This sets the tone for his coaching tenure. I asked Melvin Gordon if he saw any wavering in Coach's confidence.
For him, you see him out here? That man out here living, man. He having a blast, man. So when he bring that type of energy, that it's contagious.
I feel like that dude doesn't even have nerves, man. I think he was just stoked. He's so passionate and grateful to have this position that he has, and that's one of the things I really value about him is you can tell how much he values being the Broncos head coach.
Gordon also told me he thought the defense got the better of the offense today. I'm not sure how that's possible with Russell Wilson playing quarterback, but I followed up with new defensive tackle DJ Jones to see if he agrees.
Melvin just said that the defense got after the offense a little bit today. You feel that?
We did.
Why do you feel that way?
We just did. We just played our assignment, putting our hands on them before they could put their hands on us.
How does that work without pads, though? How after them could you really have gotten?
I mean, you can tell when somebody's, we call it fitting up.
We all love competing out here. I mean, that's the most fun part is to be able to, your brother across the ball, give him a little bit. You got to be able to take it too.
The belly is back. During team drills, Quinn Meinerz rolled up his shirt to air out his famous gut. He tells me that's because he's more comfortable this year and ready to be himself. At UC Health Training Center, I'm Nick Rothschild.
Well, that's a wrap on day one. Broncos off to a good start, but now the key is keeping it going on day two, which starts tomorrow with practice at 10 a.m. free and open to the public. Ann?
All right, a season of excitement truly upon us. Thanks, Lionel. And you'll be able to find all of our Broncos training camp coverage over at thedenverchannel.com.
And quickly, an update tonight on the sale of the Broncos. Today, the NFL's Finance Committee recommended owners approve the team's $4.6 billion sale to the Walton Penner Group. NFL team owners will vote on the sale next week in Minneapolis. 24 of the 32 owners need to approve the sale for this to become final.
Thousands of miles from home.
And I had no idea where to go. Just me, car, my brother, and 2 kids.
A family from Ukraine finding comfort and support in Colorado.
Contact Denver 7 getting results. The latest on an Aurora apartment complex at risk of seeing its water shut off.
Thanks to the passage of a cold front tonight, we're really going to cool things off tomorrow. I'll let you know if we'll see severe weather along with that.